Greetings, greetings, greetings. This is Iyanda Siraj, the Eclectic High Priestess. Hope that I'm finding you well and in high spirits. I am here with a few messages that came to me this morning when I was rising, and I'll be studying on the topics, and I've got the message to also share them with you so that maybe you can study the topics, right? So in the channeling this morning, the thing that came through was the word bromine, or the element bromine. And I didn't know what it was. The word was just in my mind. You know, sometimes that's how that happens. The word will be there and I won't have any idea what it is or what it means. So that's what happened. I decided to look up what bromine was and found out that it was an element on the periodic table that is often used in fuels, oils, what's the word? Pesticides, insecticides. A lot of furniture, like fabrics, even have bromine as a dye. So that was the uses of it. Also, used to be used in medicines a lot, apparently. Apparently, the toxicity levels were less of a threat than the potential treatment, I guess. But what ended up coming up was bromine. First of all, what ended up coming up was that all of the elements on the periodic table have a emotional message and a spiritual message for us, as well as an energetic like purpose or energetic print or purpose. And so all 118, I think it is, elements on the table have that. And also the table is broken up into 7 lines, which is associated with 7 chakras. So the elements on each on each line are associated with that chakra. And so bromine was in the bottom, I believe. It was a root. So it had a lot. Well, obviously, if it works with agriculture and cultivating land and supporting crops and things like that. So that was what that was. Now, the spiritual message really stood out to me, or the cosmic message was the forgiver of abuse, bromine, the forgiver of abuse. Which really stood out to me. The fact that it was the forgiver of abuse, and it was a root chakra element, which means that this is abuse that came at the hands of people you feel comfortable with, family, because the root chakra ties to family, your lineage, you know, even just like your network, your immediate network. So forgiver of abuse, you know. The other thing that I felt was useful about bromine and the message that it had was that when you come into physical contact with bromine, it immediately begins to kill the cells of whatever it's touching. So like, for instance, if you got raw, like not environmental, but I guess pure pure natural bromine. If you got pure natural bromine and got it concentrated on your skin, then over the course of days, your skin will begin to erode or die away because the skin cells are slowly being eaten. And then the other thing that stood out was bromine is found in a lot of like, I want to use the word rudimentary. I don't know the word I can't say it, but I know the word I'm saying. Rudimentary, I think is how you say it. And meaning that there's a lot of like low sitting water and a lot of the minerals and molecules and everything. I'm not a science person, I'm just going with what I've studied so far or what I read so far. So all of those minerals down in the bottom, like of those bodies of water, like the Dead Sea. Okay, so yeah, so that's the point I was trying to get to. The Dead Sea, the minerals in the Dead Sea are high in bromine. Okay, so and then also bromine can be found in a lot of the springs that we consider spiritual springs, or that we go to and do spiritual baths for cleansing, releasing, transmuting things. So I just wanted to share that with y'all, that that came to me this morning, and I felt like it might be useful for you guys, which now is going to become a course of study, and I invite you all to join me on that course of study. And so I wanted to talk about that and how we can use that as we go into study more, because you can't even order the core material online. You have to like order it by like writing in and getting the booklet if you want it. Anyway, so I have to go through this whole process, but in the meantime, I'm going to be considering how different cravings and things like that. Obviously, we know that there is a tie to our cravings and emotional well-being, as far and as well as like mineral imbalances or deficiencies or whatever the case may be. So we already know that that's a thing, but I really would like to dive deeper into it and understand the individual messages that each thing is giving to us. So if a person has, an iron deficiency, what does that mean? Iron being the blood, iron being, crucial to, it's a crucial element of life. It's not like you can be without blood. And so I wonder, it's also a root element. So I wonder if people who have iron deficiencies typically have issues with security, or issues with their own bloodline, or familial traumas and things like that. So I just wonder, what that connection, if we look deeper at it, what it might be. The other thing that I wanted to just get you guys a little bit of information on, because it's part of my course of study right now, and I invite you guys to join me, is, now this came to me a while ago, maybe like 2 years ago, before I even got pregnant with this baby, my last baby. DNA, you're now down here. I was studying galactic blood types and things like that. So blood type indicators that indicate your galactic lineage is what I was studying back then when I ran across the information. But apparently your blood type has a specific meal plan. Okay, so like if you ask for your blood type from the doctor, you can look, there's books on it, but you can actually look online, because I feel like back then I ran across a pretty good database. But you can look up your blood type and the recommended or the preferred like meal, food options. I know when I looked mine up, I was blown away, because at the time I was still sticking to a vegan diet. And when I did that research, my blood type said that most of the things that were staples in my diet at the time were not complementary to my blood type. So it was interesting for me to see, because even before I came off of being even before I became a vegan, and I was eating pretty clean, like chicken and the things that we consider healthy, even those things were on my not recommended list or whatever. They have like different categories. It's like not recommended, not like favorable and unfavorable or something like that, is the way that they categorize it, I believe. But either way, there was a lot of things on there that had been kind of like part of me thinking I was doing better for myself. Obviously, I didn't put a lot of weight on it, because I'm not in a position at this point in my life to or I wasn't even then, maybe I am now, to practice such a strict diet as what was recommended for optimum health, I guess. I wasn't in a place at that point to facilitate that process, but especially since I got pregnant right after that, and that wouldn't have been very healthy, right? So that was that. So anyway, the blood types, your blood type has specific meals, foods that are good for your blood type. And that's the only point that I wanted to get to you. It actually is part of it's multi-layered, that thing, but because it also talks about pairing pairing blood types when you're reproducing is another thing. So if you want to look into that, then that's your thing. But I guess it's coming back around for me to look at. So I guess it's time. What I wanted to do, since the elemental table was my rising message, I wanted to see what Earth or what Gaia might have messages here for us to consider right now, or to, I guess, connect with. So we have ocean ebb and flow. I do feel like, salt water right now is going to be beneficial. So if we can get to the ocean and have a dip, that might be beautiful. I'm also picking up something about sand, or like microdermabrasion. What's the other word? Whatever the word is, when you have little chips of something and it can scrub the skin. Oh my gosh, I don't know what the word is. Y'all know how my mind works when I'm doing this, just in and out. So salt water, I feel like, but also, we did talk about the Dead Sea, and I feel like maybe specifically like minerals that come from the Dead Sea, like black or Dead Sea salts and things like that, could be beneficial for us. Like if you can't get to the sea, then order you some Dead Sea salts. I don't think people can just buy bromine. I'm not sure how that is, because I think it's like industrial product or something like that. But I don't know. Do your research. If that's something that you can buy, I wouldn't think that you could, because you couldn't handle it properly. But whatever, look into it. Either way, the Dead Sea salts would be perfect, because that's the whole reason that they sell them, is so that you can get those minerals that are there. Anything else? New moon, promise. Okay, so coming up with this. Oh, I do feel like, yeah. So I guess we are, maybe it's a remedy for me. Maybe it's also a remedy for you guys. But on the new moon, or coming up on our new moon, you could do this type of cleansing bath, or even just focus in on that element. A lot of times we focus in on the material, or having the material items and tools and things like that. But these items and tools also have spirits. So we can also just connect with the spirit if we don't have anything else. Okay. So if you don't have any salts and you don't have access to any water and things like that, you can even just pull up the elemental symbol for bromine, if you feel like you connect with the message that it's bringing. So sit with the elemental symbol, and just think of the Dead Sea or whatever, and just meditate on forgiveness, meditate on releasing, meditate on grace, and forgiveness, because that's the message. It was the message. Forgiver of abuse. Okay. So with the new moon, I do feel like it's asking us to do that. So there's some, because rain is at the bottom with purification. Okay, so the thing about bromine was that it's a red metal that is a liquid. So it's a it's a liquid non-metal. It's a liquid non-metal, I think is what it said. And the inner, it's really, really red, and then it has this gas, and the gas that's connected to it is heavy, like it's weighted, it's dense. So a lot of times when you see like in movies, cauldrons and things like that, or like smoke that's like staying low to the ground, a lot of time it's bromine that's helping that to do that, to form and create that dense like smoke or gas. So it does have that gas. Now, when you inhale bromine, okay, for instance, like if it was just in the air, if someone had some and it was in the air, it would cause you to have like respiratory problems. It would cause you to have like respiratory problems. You could have it would bother the mucus lining of your nose. Ooh, I just saw an ooh-wee. Okay, look, I just saw an image of a government official opening bromine in a public, like a park. and I see him doing it in Walmart right now. So it's like, okay, okay, so we were just talking about, when I saw that image the first, we were just talking about bromine, the gas, when it's released in the air, it can affect your respiratory system, your lungs, including your lungs, and it can create irritation on in your eye mucus, or your eyes, and your it can cause irritation of your mucus and stuff in your nose. So now I think this is tied to COVID. Tied to COVID or tied to something. Let's just leave it as it is. I feel like it's tied to COVID. Okay, so because I just saw the official breaking a container of bromine in a public area, even outdoors, and then I saw in Walmart. And y'all know Walmart Walmart is tied to so many theories about like FEMA and mass graves and what's the other thing? Detention centers. Okay, because there's theories that Walmart's would be turned into like refugee centers and things like that. Refugee centers, but like concentration camps. Okay. I said refugee center like I was a dang Nazi soldier. That's how they tried to play off the camps then. And when they put out the media, the videos and advertisements and stuff, they made it like it was a refugee camp that they could come there and have peace of mind. And I mean, they put out videos of little kids skipping across the yard and things like that. And so some people who ended up in concentration camps went there thinking that they were escaping the chaos of the war as a civilian, and they thought that they were going into a place that was going to be protecting them. And of course, as soon as they got on the trains, they knew that they had made a mistake. I read some accounts when I was a teenager, because I was super obsessed with the Holocaust as a teenager and young adult. So I remember reading some accounts of people like, as soon as they pulled up to the trains, they knew that they had been lied to and that they couldn't get out of it. You know what I'm saying? And so it was just like, they pulled into the city, like the men would pull into the city calmly in these situations. I just remember reading, they would pull in there calmly, supportive, nice, helping with bags and things like that. And then when they pulled up to it was like it would just change, because when they pulled up to the train, they would see everybody and how they were being treated and crammed into these cars and everything. And they just knew they had been deceived right at that point. So some of them having given money, some of them having given up, priceless belongings just to be able to go to this refugee camp, concentration camp. Okay. But anyway, so that's that. I feel like that might be tied to that. Too, if we think about it, and I'm seeing one person, but if we think about it, that could be on a larger scale. It could be larger bodies, and that's something that's being done because we do have a lot of mystery surrounding that virus and how it's transmitted and what it really affects and things like that. So not to say, I'm not here to talk about its validity, because I had some form of COVID in 2020, so January timeframe. So yeah, I think though that it could be something that's intentional, like, it's intentionally released into the air, kind of like they were saying with the 5G. They said that 5G rolled out just as this immunity weakening virus was out here. And it just so happened that 5D also does the same thing, which support your nervous system or your lymphatic system at all. Okay, so let's see if there's any other messages here. So we have ebb and flow, promise, ocean, new moon. I feel like that's pretty much covered. When you're there's some cleaning work. I mean, new moons are not usually for cleansing, but I guess if you can do a spiritual bath anytime you want to, especially if you sitting out on sitting on a new beginning, and you know that you've done some particularly heavy work, and that there may still be something stuck in your aura from that experience or from that process, of you addressing it. We have ancestors and generations. So this is actually okay. My head is tingling now. Okay, so I'm picking up on a particular group. So it's a specific group of people who are going to see this video. And maybe it'll only be a handful of people. I don't know, but it does feel like this is a remedy that's coming for you to assist in some specific work that you're doing when it comes to your ancestors. Remember, I was wondering about the iron, you know what I'm saying? And then we do have red and yellow here. And then we have these little kind of like molecules types of things here, like beads. I know it's some type of pointillism type art, but still, it just seems like beads or molecules all coming together. So there's some energy here of you could totally have like a I'm gonna say it like this: you can have an ancestor who literally in the physical realm was affected by like some type of weed killer poisoning. I know that was a thing a couple of years ago, like 2018, 2019. One of the weed killer companies had big lawsuits out, or was doing some type of, what they do, those lawsuits, those group lawsuits or whatever. Basically, the company was admitting that people who had come in contact over a long period of time with some of their products were dealing with dealing with respiratory issues, we're dealing with lung issues, kidney issues. So there could be an answer for somebody about something ancestral, about a specific person, or this could just be talking about your ancestral line, or forgiving that, or clearing up that ancestral trauma, like for generations, like for your whole bloodline. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to do this remedy, because that message could have just been coming that way to speak to the fact that you are doing that work, or that's what's happening. Especially if you find yourself in a situation where you are showing grace to somebody or a group of people who have harmed you. Okay, so in this situation, you that's why bromine is coming, is because it's reminding you of whatever your contract was. I'm receiving this message from myself because I'm literally feel like I'm levitating right now. I'm definitely in my seat, but I literally feel like I was just like off of it, like for 2 seconds just then. I'm in my right mind today, y'all. Okay. But yeah, so it's this the invocation card is down here too. So that does tell me that there is some tie to the ancestors, some thanks or gratitude even that the ancestors might be bringing down to you. Like, thank you for doing this, because, we do have this couple down here. So it could be talking about like healing some type of rifts, healing some type of tear, some separation or divide in your family, so it could be tied to that. Okay, so that's that. Let's see. I'll get one message to read. Did I bring the book over here? Yeah. Okay, I'll get one message to read, and then I'll pull one card from my fractals, and then we'll be done. Fairies, earth magic. Yeah. So this is why we're learning about the elements. This is why we're being told. Then we have the full moon. So there's completion. Okay, and then right behind this activation. Okay, listen. This is why we've been told to study this. This feels like a very personal channeling. A lot of the information that I channel, I'm pretty sure you guys have caught on by now. As a matter of fact, I do know that it's because some people watch my videos in order to see what's going on with me, because they know that's how I channel, through my own personal experience. But anyway, whatever. I ain't tripping. So with the earth magic, it does say, that's the name of this deck. Okay, so I knew that Gaia or Mother Earth was trying to get something out by bringing that element to Ooh, okay. It's also a message of forgiveness from Mother Earth. I just saw that very clearly. A message of forgiveness from Mother Earth because we've been abusing. So okay, so there's also a request for as the new moon approaches to consider being a more conscious consumer, being a more conscious caretaker for Mother Earth, using more recyclables, actually recycling, using more using more gentle chemicals around you, your home, in your on your body. So yeah, there's a big message about setting that intention for the new moon because we have full moon coming completion. Some of you are being given a pat on the back for your commitment to this because it feels like with the new moon showing up and then the full moon right behind it and then activation, it feels like there's something that you've already done and now you're being activated, because of that. And then also saying that there could be that support. It's asking you to support this activation or this cycle for you by doing some of this remedy, maybe going to the ocean or ordering some black sea salts and creating some type of self-care ritual from that product itself. For whatever reason, if you have an ancestry that's tied to the Nile, Kemet, and things like that, it's like this is also a message for you regarding like the ritual itself. The ritual itself is going to deepen connection. It's going to thank you. Okay, all right. It's going to deepen connection. And it's going to be like a sort of veneration, like it's like a connecting you to your ancestors because it's coming up out of the dirt. It's the same dirt that they are buried in. It's the same dirt that they still exist. Like their remnants or memories of them are still in that dirt. So yeah, so there's something very personal to that. And I just heard graveyard magic too. So if you feel like you've been a victim of that type of attack, then this is something that's actually could help cover you. And I'm also right now seeing that scene in the Black Panther where they were getting ready to send him to the astral plane and the ancestral plane, and they buried him under the dirt. So I'm also seeing that. So they buried him under the dirt. So there's something about that connection to ancestors by using the black sea salts is going to be very beneficial for you if you feel like you have a connection to that area. Like I say, Kemet or ancient Egypt, Africa in a whole, honestly. So yeah, if you feel like you have that connection, then I'm thinking that I'm seeing the word portal. So it's saying it act as a portal for you. So use it as a portal to connect. Okay. All right. So anything else? Okay, I'm gonna read Earth Magic, but I feel like there's still more message here, so I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle again and see what comes out. That card really wants to come. So okay, yeah, wolf instinct. Okay, so I think this is very much very much connecting with their guidance. Okay, very much going to connect you with their guidance. I'm also picking up that somebody could benefit from like a float. Like, that could be one way that you could get this in. I forgot about that option. So a float, like a saltwater float, or go to a float salon or studio and do that. That also could serve as this activation or this experience that's been set up for you. I'm hearing the word event. Y'all know how like people who do channeling and stuff, they say the event. People who are into cosmology and things like that, cosmology of the stars and things like that, they say it's an event, and that's what's coming up. That's what the term that I'm hearing is, the event. So after this event, you'll feel like more connected. This is not just that general, like I'm not just speaking to the new age hippies talking about, oh, I want to be connected. That's not what I'm dealing with here. This is something that's very intentional. And if you're connecting with it as I'm saying it, then it's for you. And you know how serious it is. It is not just It's not just a you thing, is what I'm trying to get at. It's not a you thing, and you know that. If this is for you, then you know that it's not just for you. Okay. Submerged iceberg. Again, I just said this. So the bath. Of course, I don't know about ice baths. I see a group of collectives that do males, a group of males that do the ice bath, the submerge. I'm not completely sure about the science of that, but something about like reactivating your nervous system. But when they're doing it differently. There seems like some type of some type of awakening to release. So it's shocking things to be released. Okay. All right. So that makes sense. Okay. So anyway, let's read Earth Magic here. Or Fairies Earth Magic, and see what the message was for us. And then I turn right to the new moon. Y'all think I should read that one too? I'll read it after I read Fairies, because it turned right to it and we pulled that card. So I feel like they was like, nah, don't skip this one though. These kinds of messages are always interesting to me because I really never know where they're going to go until I get down here. Fairies are nature spirits thought to be descended from the earthly tribes, particularly the Tautha, the Danann, those associated with the goddess Dana, who once ruled Ireland, that inhabited the British Isles. Over time, these ancient peoples were conquered and displaced, and they fled to areas where humans didn't venture, ultimately becoming increasingly smaller and less visible in order to better hide themselves. Fairies have assumed responsibility for the plants and trees, or standing ones, they call them. They work with earth magic to take care of these beings, and if you ask, they'll help you with your garden or yard. They'll also have the power of enchantment and shape-shifting. Okay, fairies appreciate it when we show them through our actions that we love the earth as much as they do, and consequently, they bestow a little of their earth magic upon us. Okay, you have the same power available to you as the fairies do. It starts with loving the earth through your heartfelt gratitude and appreciation, but more important, through your actions. The fairies can help you reconnect in a way that is more intimate, and all they require is your willingness to pay attention to the trees and plant life around you and demonstrate your care. Whether you live in a small place or have an expanse of land, make it a point to be especially attentive to your surrounding vegetation. Plant something. Get your hands in the dirt and do so with love and enthusiasm. Every flower, tree, or shrub you are tending is a living being, so treat each like you would a dear friend. Ask the fairies to help you take care of these friends, and you will be rewarded many times over. So yeah, that definitely feels like we did say that a message from Gaia herself was saying, like, thank you for whatever you did. If you picked up trash this week, that's the thing that popped in my mind. These packing peanuts were like all like lining the fence line in the back of my house, my building, and I had passed them a couple of times. And the other day, I just pulled up. We had just come back from a walk, and I just pulled up the stroller and just picked up as many as I could and put them in the recycling bin. And so for you may have had something like that where you just did something. Maybe you bought a plant. Maybe you have watered your plant successfully for like a week or whatever. It's like a congratulations, it's a thank you. But also, if you feel like you've been disconnected, it's telling you that that's the remedy. Okay, that's the remedy. Get in there and connect. Make something with your hands. Yeah, so that was a good message. The new moon is right here. So let's see. I don't know how I lost it, even though I was holding it. Promise. Gazing at the sliver of the new moon, smiling down upon them, the couple embraces each other, welcoming the promise of their love. The fading sun drapes the clouds and waters with its tinge of luminescence as the crescent opens its arms to the nearby planet Venus, named after the Roman goddess Love. Let's see here, because I be needing to see what this is. Oh, okay, I see. This is a time for manifestation, beginnings, and renewal, with the promise that our desires will come to fruition. Here, Grandmother Moon initiates another lunar cycle, moving from darkness to fullness and back again over approximately 1 month. Her promise of what is to come is embedded in the first glimmer of her light as she emerges from behind the curtain of darkness that has recently encompassed her. It is a promise that has been kept for as long as she has existed. Okay. This is on page 111 too. So if that's a significant number for you guys, as it is for me, then that's a double confirmation. This is the time to launch a new project, a new relationship, or renew something that has been put aside for a later date, unless somebody puts you aside for a later date. Okay. With your intention and willingness to allow a full cycle to complete itself, that which you desire will manifest. The seed of that idea is ready to emerge from the darkness of your subconscious into your full awareness. The next step is to put into action what is required to fully realize this idea. Okay, yeah. A promise has two meanings. It can be a commitment and guarantee to yourself or someone else that a particular thing will happen, or it can imply that something specific is expected to happen. When your will is aligned with the will of spirit and your intention is focused upon what you wish to have happen, there will be fulfillment and the promise is kept. Okay, let's go back over that two promises thing. There's two types of promises. One that you make to yourself or someone else that a particular thing will happen, or the implication that a specific thing is expected to happen. I dig it. Something about a definition, you know what I'm saying? Like, something about a definition. That's why etymology is so important, because there's just something about knowing something, what something really means. The vibration that it's actually carrying, you know what I'm saying? When it touches you, when it reaches your eardrums. Okay, this is the deck we're going to use today. Which one is it? Divine Guidance. It's the fractals, y'all. 36 minutes. Okay. 29. Ooh, I like that. Kind of looks like a infinity. I don't know why I also see a baby rattle. I see sound coming off of it too. I'm also seeing this experiment that I saw on TikTok. This girl put some crystals in some water and froze it to see what the energy signature would be on the ice. And all of them had like these like explosive like things. You could see the energy in the ice from the crystal. And then some of the crystals made like a little bubble on top of them. So like you could see that the energy was actually being emitted from the crystal. It was dope. All right. So is there anything else? Let's see. 3 shuffles. 1, 2. Okay. Nope. We got this card last week. Number 40. That fountain. It looked like a fountain to me. I remember that. So let's see. Number 29. Speak your truth. Yep, that throat chakra there. That makes so much sense. It's time to speak your truth. You no longer need to hold back what you have to say for fear of what others may think. You're being asked to speak up and share your feelings, your wisdom, and whatever it is that's on your mind. When you have something to say, yet you hold your words back through fear, you create a blockage in your energy and your life. Speak up. What you have to say is important and worth being heard. If you are a public speaker or have a desire to speak publicly, this card encourages you to use your voice and claim your power. All right. I take that as confirmation for me, guys, you know, for sure. But I mean, and I hate to make that all personal to myself, but it just happens like that. And it's just how it is. They talk to me as I talk to y'all. So a lot of times, that's not everything. I get some stuff by myself, but I get a lot through these messages, which makes it vulnerable because I'm like, dang, why y'all gotta be putting all my business out there all the time? So actually, I want to get one more message. So we got speak your truth. Should I explore? Ooh, it's captivating. Okay, I'm gonna read this one. Number 10. Just caught me. It's very colorful there. Okay, so the reason I wanted to pull one more because I wanted to feel what they were talking about when they're talking about speaking your truth and what they were really trying to say. For me personally, it's talking about the eccentric energy around the information that I want to share with you guys, about the things that I'm actually into, the things that I've actually, you know, some of the stuff can be seen as dark, like the Holocaust, for instance. You know, I've used to literally just like looking at those pictures and just feeling what was in them. And I'm telling you, like, one that just came to my mind is those mass graves. Oh my gosh, those mass graves used to just send me into some type of emotional, like, something. But it was so, I was always drawn, and I wouldn't stop. Like, it was just something that was really captivating for me. So anyway, so my ideas and my thoughts about these different things, I've always wanted to share them, and I try to a little bit, but without being creepy or dark, or heavy. And I think that it's kind of like confirmation that whatever my views are on them can be used. Other people can use those views or whatever. So also the other thing too, and I'm going to put it out there for y'all, anybody who comes to this video, let me know in the comments if you would be interested in seeing readings done on some of these popular topics, like murders and conspiracy theories, right? And things like that, because that's also something that I really enjoy doing. And oftentimes in my private time, I'm over here shuffling cards about something that I saw in a movie or something that I saw on TV. So I don't watch a lot of TV per se, like news and stuff, but I do pick up on stuff from social media, which I do a lot. Grand Rising, Crystal Clear, Grand Rising. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and read number 10 and see. Actually, I'm going to look at 40 and see what that message was from last week, because it just keeps standing out to me. Okay. The meaning of this card is twofold. Firstly, it is calling for more time in meditation and prayer. Energetically, you are needing something. This is about channeling too. If you feel like you have messages that are destined to be received by other people, this is talking about that. Energetically, you are needing some time alone with yourself in your inner space. Through meditation, you are able to connect more deeply with your higher self and your guides. Energetically, this is vital for you. Secondly, this card calls you to focus on the power of your voice to facilitate the opening of your throat chakra. Speak your mind. Okay, yeah. So that's why I kept standing out. This vocal expression, whether through chant, prayer, or even singing, is important for you now. Yes. Past life, I wonder. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, someone just explained to me that I had a past life in Lemuria. I wonder if that is connected to that. I have to go study Lemuria more because I have a limited knowledge on it. Yeah, also past life, having the fear of sharing those topics with you, about the things that I'm into. Yeah, I think that might be a thing. Feeling ostracized or judged in a way, even if it's not really happening. I think it is sometimes, but not in the way, not as deeply as I be feeling it. So maybe it is happening, but not to the extent that I'm experiencing it, like I said. Okay, so this card is gentleness. Okay, it looks gentle, but it looks way more playful than I thought than gentle. You are an intricate being that is unique and diverse in your own special way. Yeah, okay. Spirit asks that you be gentle with yourself and accept the delicate nature of who you are. The spiraling energy is here to remind you that there is a great power and strength in your softness, and it is here to assist you in healing on all levels. It is also here to remind you that you are a divine being of light who is as deserving as any other human being on earth. Smile and recognize your own authenticity and beauty in all your glory. Ashe. All right. So I knew, yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's something when it comes to being a content creator, right? Is that not comparison, but you just want to make sure you don't know if you're going to have a interested collective. Okay. And for me, I just been getting confirmation over and over that, not just, by likes and comments. Cause if I went by that, I would just quit. I would have quit like 3 years ago. Cause whatever. But just confirmation through just a few comments, like you guys being live here with me, sharing time with me, and then just these messages that are coming out to say, there's a collective. There is a collective for you. There's a collective that you can be a part of, and there's a collective that you can serve as a forerunner in. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna keep working then, because that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep working. All right, so y'all know I'm absolutely obsessed with these fractals, so I'm just gonna get a couple more. Don't mind me. If you gotta go, I'm okay. That's okay. No problem. We're going to use the Path of the Soul card deck and see what they say. Ooh, 36. I like that. It's making me think of clowns, but I like it either way. Also feels like, like a lot of different, it feels like a magnetism type of energy. It feels like I want to say whirlpool, but that's not what I'm looking for. Funnel, like a funnel energy, or a vacuum, like bringing things into it. Okay. A magnet. All right. Anything else from this one? 1, 2, 2. This card was at the bottom, and I looked at it, and I was like, oh, let's see if they want to put it out. And in fact, they are putting it out. Okay. This is giving me like a calculation or formation or like a blueprint. That you have to oh, that's a third eye if I ever saw one. Yeah, so I feel like just looking at the fractals, this is talking about some type of formula. Ooh, authenticity, and eccentricity is the formula. It offers a good template. It offers a good vessel for divine sight, for divine truth. When you are comfortable being abstract, when you're comfortable like blurring lines or crossing boundaries, it creates a perfect canvas. It creates a perfect vessel or channel for spiritual truth, because spiritual truth is not linear. It's not standardized. It's not any of that. So when you have that spiritual flexibility, or when you have that energetic flexibility, it makes you a perfect conduit for inspiration, for channeling inspiration from the divine. Okay. Someone who's too much tied into like perfectionism, winning, being right, like ego driven stuff, where it's like, not that your ego can't take you to good places, because it really can, but not enough people talk about that it can take you to good places. But the point that I'm making is, when you're okay with looking stupid, when you're okay with people questioning you or things like that, when you get comfortable in that space, it makes for you to be a really good conduit, because you're humble enough to be a student, to be taught, to admit that you don't know. Because I did get a challenge the other day about some readers and stuff who be making up stuff and romanticizing different messages and things like that. I don't know if it was one that was, because a lot of times as a reader, you're tempted to kind of like do what's popular to see if that draws in the attention, because you're looking for the formula, right? The right formula for like success, or to get your messages out. So, I mean, I've had that same thought, and how do I get these messages out? How do I get my numbers up? But I mean, it's been the same over the last few years, and it ain't stopped nothing in my life, So I just feel like it helped me detach from that part. Okay. And so the ego part of like not knowing how people will receive stuff led to like perfectionism. Okay, well, I got to make sure I'm doing these topics, which further pushed away the true, what really feel good for me to do. Okay. But anyway, all of that to say that apparently anything that's making you uncomfortable right now, if you are choosing to meet that discomfort, then you are going to be gifted with, the blessing of being in partnership with spirit, and by way of being, I don't know, having your inspiration, your artistic inspiration amplified, your intuitive abilities amplified, your financial stability amplified, whatever the case may be. But when you have this flexibility, it's gonna boost you. So we have card 36. Okay, and these are the last ones I'm gonna read. Okay, that's it. Okay, revealed. Do you know how beautiful you truly are? It is time to stop hiding from the world. The universe is calling you. You have so much to offer, so much to give. This card is a reminder for you to see who and what you truly are. You are a part of the one. You are beautiful and perfect in every way. When you hide yourself, you are withholding not only your energy, but your love. Love for yourself and love for others. Embrace yourself and all your quirks. We all have them. Let yourself be free. Let yourself shine. Man, I'm telling you, I'm really getting really good at this the clairvoyance is what it is. That's all it is. It's clairvoyance. You know, you're able to see the messages in the image. By the colors, by the shapes, by the motion that's in it. Okay. All right, let's move on to number. This card is 6. So we do have gifts enhancing. I mean, because I just had that revelation just then. So I'm just telling you guys that you will notice as well that that's happening for you, just in the most subtle ways. Though you'll just like I just did it. Like, oh man, I'm really picking up on these messages better and better. So that's kind of what I'm picking up for you guys as well. The number 6 is actually breakthrough. There is a veil. There is a thin veil which separates us from other dimensions of existence. You are now energetically breaking through this veil. You may be experiencing knowings or feelings of other dimensions. Your consciousness is moving beyond this third dimensional realm. Embrace the moments of clarity and understanding that flow with this great knowing. As you break through the veil, you are in closer contact with your guides and other divine beings who are here to aid you on your journey. All right. Okay. So what did I say from this one? A formula or something? All right. All right. But it is definitely speaking to this message of enhancing abilities. Okay, so they're talking about the veil thinning. As you let go, just let go of judgments, criticisms, preconceived notions, your own, those of others. This is the and forgiveness. Forgive, right? So you're giving these things up to create a clearer channel. Okay, so there we did have a formula for forgiveness. I started to tell y'all about that the other night, and then the guides told me they didn't like that lady's energy. But today I feel like I can share it with you. I'm not going to go through the process, but you'll just have to look it up yourself. It's the 12 steps to forgiveness. The forgiveness formula, the formula of forgiveness. I don't have that book anymore. I only have her second edition, and it doesn't have that formula in it. So you guys will have to look it up. And the lady's name was Jalailah Star. Jalailah Star with 2 R's at the end. 2 R's. So if you find her, the book is like $200 and something. Anyway, that's why I don't got it, because I sold it. Anyway. Okay, so breakthrough. But yeah, that lady, the formula for forgiveness, maybe that's significant for somebody, or maybe it can be useful for somebody. Okay, Path of the Soul, number 26 here. When I said it's the third eye, if I ever saw it, 26. Okay, so this also too, I feel like it is the third eye. Look, it literally says third eye. Okay, but before I read it, I am picking up that that is the directions. You can see the directions better. Okay, so you know how people talk about having vision, the crow of the past, present, future. There is something there, past, present, future, maybe in liminal space, if that's a thing, because I'm picking up on a fourth thing. I'm also picking up on the four directions, so north, south, east, west. It's like you can see everything. Oh, yesterday I talked about something that I heard in my mind, and it said you can see what everybody's doing. You can see what everybody's doing everywhere, or something like that, with the way they put it. So I'm also picking up on ESP too. So like if you've ever even connected with a person, shook their hand or anything, it's like you have memory. You can see into them if you concentrate on them. You can see what they have going on, see what they're doing. I also feel like this is also something about like I'm picking up. I'm seeing somebody having sex. So somebody you could have connected to somebody like that via sex, and you can see into their life, or they can see into yours. Like remote viewing via that connection or that exchange of body fluids. Okay. So yeah, there's something about seeing in all directions, or being able to see a more complete picture of items, of things, of events. Definitely expanding, and I feel too there is a muted circle. You see this muted circle, and then the rays are illuminated out here. So there's some type of filter or like tint over something, and I think it's temporary. It could be lifting. Okay, but I'm also seeing eye contacts, different color eye contacts. So your chakras. Okay, chakras. Okay, so this could also be a thing. I'm not sure how this plays out, but I'm hearing chakra shields. You can use your third eye to place shields on your chakras. Okay, yesterday the channeling was the breastplate of righteousness, and that covered the chakras that are in the chest and the stomach area. So maybe this is talking about shielding your top chakras, maybe, perhaps. Or a shield is on your top chakras, but that you can see through the shield. It doesn't blur your vision, but there is a sense of like two layers or two settings of your sight, of your vision, of your gift, like a more muted vision, a more muted version, and then like a high version, I guess. All right, let's see. The third eye rules psychic abilities and clairvoyance. We were just talking about clairvoyant abilities. Although every human is born with the ability to see beyond the known, does not mean that they will always access it. Your intuitive gifts and abilities are very strong. When this card appears, it is because you are ready to move to the next level in the development of your inner seeing. Intuitive development is important for your growth at this time. Expanding your gifts not only benefits you, but also aids those who need your guidance and support you can provide from source. That's on page 44, just in case that number is significant to anybody. Yeah, like I dig it. Those were good messages. I'm so addicted to these fractals now because I can see how they speak. Knowing something is different from experiencing something. So, like I know how art and color therapy and all of that works, but to experience it has been a little different. Or to be able to receive the deeper meaning, that seems like it's been a lot different for me. And I'm grateful. So grateful. All right, I think that is it, because I think I did everything I said I was going to do, right? Do y'all want to close with some playing cards? Why not? Okay. Anyway, what's that? Soul family. Oh, hey, y'all. What's up? Hey. Okay, so yeah, I do feel like a lot of this is, I know that I share with you guys, but if you feel connected to me or these messages, then know that we are part of a soul. We're part of a soul family, and we are healing some stuff. We're healing together. And I'm seeing own up to your mistakes, but I don't know what that means, but I read it out loud, so maybe it's a you thing, or maybe it'll be revealed to me later what it's supposed to mean to me. Okay. Increase effort. Okay, so yes, increase your effort. What you see as like the small indicators that you are more connected, that you are receiving higher level insights, that you are feeling more healing inwardly. The indicator, that's an indicator that, you know, you can keep going, like keep, if you keep putting more effort in, it's going to start to pour out, like it's going to start to pour out from the inside. So if you're doing inner work right now, shadow work or anything like that, and having to really work really hard on it, it's saying that just keep pushing, because soon it's going to begin to overflow, and you're going to see the result, or you're going to see proof of it. You're going to see its manifestation start to appear in your physical environment, because it's pouring over from your inner work. You're full from all the love and attention you're giving yourself, and now then that's going to start to pour out into your environment. Surprise, maybe in the form of some surprise. Okay, let's give this one more shuffle before we move to another part of this deck. Y'all know this deck is like I think it's like 6 or 7 playing card decks at this point, and I have like 3.5 more that when I get a chance, I'm going to sit down with more messages, because I've definitely been getting them. Okay, so 1 to 3 days and force. Okay. Okay, force is giving me like I don't know why, but it's giving me like Knight of Wands energy, or Knight of Swords energy even. So it does feel like swiftness more so than like actual force. It feels like a push, maybe a push, or some type of energy that does accelerate something. Okay. And that's a force, right? But anyway, it does feel a little more gentle though than what force would insinuate. But force and increased effort together would say that 10 toes down, we in the mud, we getting it done type of energy. So okay, so let's see, what's the surprise? Send the invite, repression in reverse, and balanced heart. Okay, so somebody is going to be sent, somebody has been withholding something, maybe they planning something. I don't know what this is about. Okay, so like this seems like it's bringing us right back down to earth a little bit, but I am feeling actually a little bit about, what did I read this morning? Something about Rahu in Vedic astrology. There is a placement or an aspect coming up with Rahu in the first 2 weeks of May. I think it was May 18th or something like that. There's significant transit with Rahu in Vedic astrology. So for somebody, maybe check that out. But that's not in 1 to 3 days. Okay, so I don't know what this is, but that came up. So here we are. Anyway, send the invite. There could be some type of event. Suppression could mean it's a secret, because it could mean that people are just kind of like trying to keep it a secret. Because I'm getting Page of Swords energy here, which would mean that like only the information that you need is being shared. Only the information that's needed is being shared at this point. Send the invite. Okay. I'm working on my solar plexus for sure. Feel blocked. Hey, come on now. Let's get it out. Solar plexus. Okay. All I'm seeing in your solar plexus is just a little baby, a little fetus. Okay, so it's a couple different messages. One of the messages is that whatever blockage you feel is actually, it was attained before you even came to be birthed. You attained it while you were still literally a fetus. Okay. It could have something to do with your mom's birth plan. I don't even know what that's about, but it could have something to do with your mom's birth plan and how maybe it wasn't honored, or something didn't go as planned, or something. It's something about that. Your mom's confidence at birth, the time of your birth, is significant. Don't know why, but okay. The other message that I feel too is I'm hearing the word abortion. So don't, okay, so it's not, I don't think it's an actual physical abortion, but if it is, then it's talking about the meaning of it, the spiritual meaning or what's happening. So while things are still in their gestation period, maybe you're in a cycle of killing things while they're still trying to sprout, and you're breaking that cycle. So I'm not sure why I felt to go into your reading when I never do that, but hopefully you can use those messages, because that's what I just got. Trying to break a cycle of pulling up things, in the early phases, in the early stages of it, terminating things early on, so that you don't face a major loss or something like that. Oh shoot. Okay. Okay. Let's see. There's something about that. I'm not gonna dig too much deeper into your situation on the live. Excuse me, because I don't know that I should. Okay, so with this message here, the repression in reverse, soul family. I do feel like a repressed need to feel accepted, to feel a part of a family, to feel a part of a unit. This is now being kind of like actualized, or that it's been there, and now I guess some healing is coming toward the situation. Um, Expectations is here too. So it's almost as if you didn't want to feel entitled. You don't like to feel entitled to your gifts, or entitled to understanding, entitled to people's time, things like that. So there's definitely a big shift there. Balanced heart, yeah. Big shift here when it comes to that itself, like you belonging to a tribe, feeling connected, and this is not just talking about like, again, novelty. This is not just talking about like, oh, the I keep hearing the word frivolous, and I just know that's not the right word, but the surface level tribe, we're not talking about that. We're talking about on a deep level, or we're not talking about something that's just for novelty, right? We're not just talking about that. We're talking about like that deep connection to a group, the deep sense of purpose and belonging in a group. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. Okay. And for some reason, the material world has caused us to kind of like pretend like we don't really need it. And to a sense, some of us are just solitary, and that's okay, and we need that. But there's still this longing for connection. So whether that's you connecting to actual people, or feeling like you connecting to your lineage, your star family, whatever that is, that's giving you more sense of home and belonging, then that's what's coming. You may get something that really, really amps that up for you in the next 1 to 3 days, it says here, right? Let's see. I'm going to make it through the whole playing deck real quick. Pottery. That card keeps coming out. Pottery. There's something about pottery. There's something about clay, red dirt, stardust and clay dirt. That's what my business was originally named. Stardust and clay dirt, which talks about like what we're made of. Like every single one. Like everybody is welcome, because this is where we are. This is who we are. This is what we're based in. This is what we are made up out of. So stardust and clay dirt was really speaking to the fact that we're all kind of demigod. We're all God. We're all made of the things, like the finest of the things. Okay. Anyway, so it was kind of this whole thing. Surrender your defenses is showing up. Let's take that, because I really feel like that's talking to us. Surrender your defenses and pottery. So pottery, clay being molded, being shaped into something of use. Taking some minerals, take mineral water. Okay, I'm hearing mineral water, coconut water. Mineral water, coconut water. There's definitely lots of messages here talking about this. How these messages end up coming out is so freaking weird. But pottery, like there is something too, when they used to make the red clay pots and drinking cups and things like that, it was well known that when you drank from it, you were getting that element, you were ingesting that element. That's why they chose the best, like red clay, or the best this, to create certain certain vessels and pots and things, because they knew that when you were using it and cooking in it, you were also infusing your food with what was there. So then I'm hearing copper, getting like the copper cookware and copper cups and things like that, so that you can continuously be kind of like giving yourself these extra charges. Remember, copper is a conductor. It helps to enhance energies. Okay, I have this one piece, like it's like a little, it looks like a slinky, and I'll put it by my computer so that if people be sending me stuff, that my protection is amplified. But also I keep it here, like my pendulum has copper on it for the same reason, because it does that thing. And I keep it here with my lapis because I'm connected to Sirius. I connect to Sirius A and B, or the Sirius system, period, through lapis and copper. That's my connection. If anybody wants to know, that's the way I've connected. That's the way I connected in the very beginning, and I've continued to do that over the years. So lapis lazuli was my stone that connected me to Sirius. Rise, baby, rise. Look at that. Okay, so let's see what this group has. Let's put that out there. I like that. Rise, baby, rise. Anything else for this collective? August. So August, legacy. August is automatically giving me a lion, not necessarily Leo, but a lion. So I'm hearing tribes of Judah. I'm hearing the show has begun. I'm hearing, because you know how the lion, the little lion roar thing was at the beginning of the movies back in the day, or the cartoons. That's what I just saw. So it's like the show has begun. Your legacy, you're now writing your legacy. And legacy came out with surprise. So it's like maybe a surprise opening, offering, or something is coming that is literally the beginning of your legacy. It is the beginning chapter. Right now you in the what's it called? The foreword. Right now you're in the foreword. You really pulling together your experience. Most of it's just me and nature right now. Aliens. Yeah. Yep. Aliens. Switch. Yeah, you better have a big shift in energy, a big shift in the environment. I'm really interested to see. Yeah, we all are, really, for real. Well, yeah, all of us have some lineage. Some of us are dang, this is a kind of messed up way to say it, but some of us are from less pure bloodlines. Okay, because remember, Earth is literally a melting pot, and Earth has lots of hybrids, not just 2-element hybrids, but like multi-element hybrids here. And it's my opinion that most humans who are considered humans, who haven't had any other existences, are literally just hybrids, like multi component hybrids. And that's what a human is. That's just something that just flowed through my consciousness just then, not necessarily anything I'm held to, but just flowed through. So yeah, then you have people who are more like star seeds, who are more like pure, are seeded with more pure consciousness from their lineage or from their star family. So while everybody does have that in there, it's like saying you black because you got 1%. I mean, I know that's a thing, but you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. And this is not to create any kind of like separation or division. It's just to kind of, I guess, explain, or I guess speak on leadership role. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all what just happened. Okay. In my mind, I was sitting here and I said, well, this is not just to create separation. I started to explain because I was back in my practical mind again. I started to explain, and then what pops out? Leadership role. It says stop, because in my mind I thought, girl, who are you to try to explain that to them? But I said explain it, and then I said, well, talk about, and then literally that card popped out, leadership role. It said, no, say what you say what you gotta say. Say what you gotta say. Okay. All right. So with the Capricorn, that's definitely giving me like devil card energy with like my strongholds, my fears. Like, oh no, I don't want to be seen as, somebody who gives out misinformation or anything like that. Secret society, gift from God. Come on now. Come on now. Secret society, gift from God. Come on. So, I do feel like, there is an energy here. Leo is here now with August and the Lion. So there is an energy here of just for the confirmation of who you are, what you doing here, that I guess your walk. And I guess I'm getting a live reading for you guys too. But like I said, the energy resonates for you in whatever you're doing. My thing is talking about aliens and DNA and different things like that. That's what I'm being ushered into to share more of. And so, whatever your area is, you're being given the same vote of confidence that, whatever you feel like you don't know yet, whatever qualification you think you still need to meet. Now, we're not talking about just go out there and be doing stuff. Don't be telling people you're a doctor when you're not a doctor. But it's saying, don't rely so heavily on 3D understanding of these concepts, because if you're here in this message, in this video listening, then whatever you're doing is going to be enhanced by you connecting to other perspectives, let's put it like that, higher perspectives of that situation, of that thing, kind of like science and the elements, how like, yeah, one person might say, oh yeah, I can put together a salt bath. Yes, you can do that. But then somebody is given knowledge about elements and different elements and what energetic messages they actually have. So that's what I guess this is what I'm speaking about here, about like taking it from just the 3D material and adding that higher level wisdom so that then it becomes a higher vibration or higher frequency concept by just taking it out of, the 3D a little bit. Adding higher level knowledge, adding layers of knowledge. That's what I'm saying. Instead of higher level, I like to say adding layers of wisdom, because the more wisdom and knowledge you add onto yourself in this lifetime, this is what we talk about. Like ascension is not necessarily like, oh, now I'm Jesus, or oh yeah, now I got wings. Literally, in a literal sense. Okay. It's more so about understanding the whole ascension journey, a whole ascension process, and knowing that it's all about kind of like not raising in consciousness, but adding to your consciousness. Just keep adding to it. It's not necessarily about like, like levels like this per se. It's just about like adding to yours. So for instance, if at the end of my life, I have this level of knowledge, right? I've gained this much knowledge from the time I was born to the time I died. And this person gained this much knowledge from the time they were born to the time that they died. But we know the same things. We know the same things. So there's something there about that message. I hope I explained it right. But it's like, I may have lived 30 years. That's what I was trying to say. So I may have lived 30 years. This person may have lived 60. We learned the same amount of knowledge about the same things, but I did it in 30 and they did it in 60, and that was just our plan. So there's about it not being linear or not even being able to compare it, because, you also have the added element of coming into this lifetime with certain things. So when you came into this lifetime, your past lifetimes and experiences and lessons are not the same as another person. So when you may seem like you're on the same track as this person, and that's your competition, and that's what I should gauge my success on. The reality is like maybe you came into this lifetime as a runt, the person who's seen as an underdog or less than, but you also have past life experiences where you was that dude or that chick, what I'm saying? You was Khaleesi. You was Khaleesi, what I'm saying? And so there is something there where like, once you remember that you was Khaleesi, then like this rampant ascension process starts happening for you, and your whole life changes in the matter of 20 years, right? And then you have someone else who may have been Khaleesi in the past life, right? And then come to this life having to humble their damn selves, right? so they may take a whole lifetime in order to release control, release power, or release the pursuit of control and power, right? So it's just you. I don't know why I ended up on this thing about comparison, but apparently we needed to talk about it. So here we go talking about it. Anything else here? Love don't live here no more. Okay. And then pacify. I don't know who that's for, but okay. I'm going to leave it at that. I ain't even going to try to read that. I'm not going to break it down for you. Love don't live here no more. I'm picking up. That's what it is. I'm picking up on energy in the chat. Making them energy in the chat. Whatever this offer was, he or she is a hybrid. We got Ace of Cups here, so whatever was offered. I'm feeling an offer. I'm feeling like this is what we're experiencing right now. Harmonious change, being offered harmonious change when it comes to our deeper connectivity, when it comes to desensitizing from the need for like carnal pleasures right now. You know, of course you have desire, but it's like you're desensitized. You're not super triggered by the desire for that kind of stuff. I also feel too, this could be tied to a lot of things like sex or food or drugs or like your own emotional reactions to things. Okay, I'm about to go. We got the Emperor and we got the Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, working hard to be the master of your own being, working hard to or putting in the effort to manage your energy properly, okay? Because we do have Wasp here. All right, I think that's it, y'all. Lord of Prudence, Son of the Morning, Lord of the Root of Fire. We have two. We have Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups here. So it does mean that there is inspiration, offerings, inspiration, intuitive inspiration coming in too. So yeah, okay. Bye, y'all. Peace. My little baby.